So, hello and welcome everybody to yet another video on my YouTube channel. In today's video, I have something really special for you. It's actually an unboxing video that I filmed a couple of months ago, even before creating this YouTube channel. And yeah, I thought that I would like to share it with you. It's an unboxing of a really rare coral that I've been searching for a few years now. So yeah, thank you everybody for watching and please enjoy the video. So, hello and welcome everybody to another video. In today's video, we're gonna do an unboxing. And this is actually, I'm super excited right now. This is a coral that I've been searching for a couple of years, actually. And it's a coral that's really rare. So it's not a fancy color morph or a fancy designer type coral. It's just a really rare species. This is actually a type of chalice coral that usually just has one corallite. It's been featured on reef builders also. It's called Echinomorpha nishihirai. I hope I'm saying that right. So there are a lot of pics on the internet of supposed to be Echinomorphas, but as with all corals in the hobby, sometimes there's a lot of misidentification. So there are a few corals that can be mistaken for that, and I will make a specific video on this Echinomorpha. So what you need to know is that it's a chalice coral. They usually just have one eye or very few eyes and a lot of tissue in between them. And they're supposed to be really thin, so really paper thin. They're quite rare in nature, so on the reefs you will not find them very often. And yeah, in the aquarium hobby, they're virtually non-existent. So I'm very happy that I found one. And yeah, let's cut the box open and take a look inside. So let's see if we can do this here. So I just cut open the box. I ordered this coral from a shop in Austria. So we'll see. So we got a heat pick here, still warm. We got a heat pick here. It's been sent via a animal courier, so it's really, the shipping should be fine. The problem with these Echinomorpha is that they are just so paper thin that they are easily damaged in shipping. Let's take a look. It's also supposed to be quite large. Okay, so here we have the coral. Water is okay, a little cool. And here it is. It's actually not as large as I thought, which is really nice. It's big, it's a big coral, but it's not like incredibly large, so I will have space for that in my reef tank. And it's just really, if you can look here on the sides, it's virtually non-existent. It's just so thin. Really cool. So it's a green color morph with a little bit of those brown or darker splotches. And we have just one eye here, so there's no other eyes. Maybe here a little one starting here, but it's just one eye. So this is the Echinomorpha nishihirai, a real one. I searched, as I said, for actually a few years to find a real Echinomorpha nishihirai. So I'm incredibly excited. Yeah, it looks very nice. Seems to be in good condition. So this is actually one of the two coral species that I always wanted to own. One is the Rhizotrochus, which is a deep sea NPS coral, which is actually illegal to import or to export, basically. But there are a few in the hobby that have been falsely identified and then imported. And then it's been the Echinomorpha nishihirai, which is legal. Yeah, you're allowed to export and import it. But it's just really hard to find. So yeah, there we go. I found one, I bought it, it's really expensive, so it was not cheap at all. But as soon as I saw it in one of the seller's videos actually of his frag tank, I just had to buy it. So there we go, I will put it in the tank and we'll take a look at it there. So everybody, we are back at home. So I got this delivered to work, and yeah, now my shift is over. So I'm at home And yeah, I noticed that this little guy has a little bit of problems. We have some pests here, I don't know if you can see that, but here we have some planaria, which is always really bad. You don't want to have that on your coral. So at the moment I'm dipping it. I am dipping it in Coral RX. I'm using the Coral RX Pro, which is basically a concentrate. So you're using about, I think it's 36 drops per gallon or something. So I made up a little portion. This is just 1 liter, so about 0.25 gallons. And I mixed in the Coral RX. And now I'm gonna let this sit for about maybe 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes. Shake it repeatedly to get all the flatworms off. You can see that we have some already falling off. Here's some isopods. Yeah, and I'll make sure to get all the flatworms off. Then I'm gonna rinse the coral off with some fresh water and some fresh salt water, of course. And I'm gonna place it in the tank and we'll see. Yeah, I was actually really happy that I got it out in one piece. It's so fragile, but I managed to not break anything. So yeah, let's keep on dipping and then I'll put it in the tank. So here we have the chalice actually in the tank. So you can see the light is really blue right now, so we're in the fluorescent phase. You can see it's really clean. I don't see any planaria. Here's a little damaged spot, but I think it will heal no problem. And I can show you also how thin this coral is. So this is with the skeleton and the coral, it's just really paper thin. Really cool. Really exciting to actually have this species. And this is really bright. You might not be able to see it, but this is like a really bright coral. So I'm gonna put it in the tank and I will give you some updates. So, and here we are after I've had this guy for around, I think, like 3 or 4 months now. So after that time, the Echinomorpha looks like this. You can see that we have a little spot here where we had some tissue damage. And that one actually developed, I would say, maybe 1 or 2 weeks after I got it. There was a tiny spot starting. And then I think we just had a little bit of maybe bacterial infection or something going on there, and it started to recede. I was debating back and forth whether I should actually take it out and do a dip on it, maybe a chemi-clean dip or just a broad spectrum antibiotics dip. In the end, I decided against it and I just, let it be. And thankfully it recovered. So we had a little bit of tissue loss here, but tissue loss hasn't been receding in around maybe 4 or 5 months now. So perfectly fine. Other than that, we do see some growth around the edges here. It's starting to grow finally. We had a little bit of recession there from shipping. Also, that's what I thought that this bruise here was basically a bruise from shipping. And yeah, I did not move it in any way, and we can see that we have some growths around the edges. This little guy is actually feeding, so it took around, because this is a non-photosynthetic reef tank, so I'm feeding quite a lot in here. But this guy actually took maybe 1 or 2 months to actually accept food. Didn't eat anything, and now every second day I'm placing just a little bit of brine shrimp on top of the mouth, and it will open and it will eat it. So I think that will also give it a little boost for the future life. Of course, this was a wild colony, so there can always be problems with it adjusting to captive care, to captive aquarium life. But this guy seems to be doing really, really well, and I'm really happy about it. So yeah, future plans. Of course, I'm going to move it to the larger system that I have planned. I'm planning on upgrading my non-photosynthetic tank, and there will be a lot of food and a lot of nutrients in the water for this LPS, and there will just be dim lighting because it doesn't need a lot. Normally it's found in reef crevices and cracks, so yeah, it doesn't get a lot of light here. But right now it's basking under some Radeon G4 Pro. It's the XR15. And yeah, you can see we have a little bit of cyano on the bottom, but that's also receding. I've just changed my salt mix to the Aquaforest probiotic reef salt to have a little bit of bacterial plankton here for my sponge and for everything. I will do a video on that one in the future. But for now, this has been the unboxing of the Echinomorpha nishihirai. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like and consider subscribing. And I will of course update you on this guy as well as the other tank, the non-photosynthetic tank. I'm planning on doing a little reef tank tour here on my non-photosynthetic reef garden. And I will also do an upgrade on this system here shortly. So thank you everybody for watching, and I will see you in the next video.